Minister, I asked this question because Ireland didn't sign up for the rest of Europe for the equal recognition of mariner certification and training, and there is huge opportunities there for Irish fishermen to seek alternative employment in the workboat industry for the offshore wind developments, and we have our own offshore wind development plan, which has just been published last year by the Department of Communications, and I think it's very important that the Marine Survey Office deal with this now to allow Irish workers and Irish fishermen to avail of opportunities in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. My primary concern in relation to maritime transport is safety, and I must ensure that the appropriate safety standards are in place, regardless of the particular sector involved. Ireland applies the internationally recognised standards to working on vessels servicing the offshore renewable sector. That is, the standards of the International Maritime Organisation's Convention on Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarer Convention Qualifications, often abbreviated to the STCW. Particular training and certification is required to work in this sector, and it is open to anyone, including fishers, to undertake the training and attain the requisite certification. Courses leading to certificates of competency for various positions, for example, master, mate, officer of the watch, chief engineer and so on, are provided mainly by the National Maritime Centre College of Ireland. In addition, my department approves a panel of training course providers for various ancillary STCW courses which lead to certificates of proficiency. The details of these providers and the training they offer is available in Marine Notice number 33 of 2013 on the department's website, which was last updated on the 26th of June of this year.
Deputy Pringle.
Minister, there is a problem for fishermen in particular to avail of work in this industry, and indeed from talking to many fishermen from Donegal who actually work in Germany and England and on the offshore wind developments, they are very highly experienced for dealing with this and very used to dealing with inclement weather conditions in smaller boats and manoeuvring in those conditions, and they are fairly well sought after in relation to it as well, because there's an awful lot of them that are doing it now. But the problem is that the equivalency of their qualifications in Ireland isn't transferable over there. And I think the Marine Survey Office and your department could develop a course that would provide that equivalency as an add-on rather than a standalone course that would deal with that issue. But it would also allow Irish workers to avail of what is large offshore wind developments that are proposed in the Irish Sea, which will have a huge requirement for staff on the construction and on the maintenance in the future. And we need to ensure that Irish people are in a position to avail of those.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. In relation to your specific point, Deputy, regarding the provision of new courses and that question there, what I will do, Deputy, is set up a meeting with you and any representatives in this area in my own department to look at those new courses and what you think they could be. Because in response to your question, I checked the status of all the courses and certificates that are available at the moment, and my department have informed me that all of them meet the IMO standards for training, certification and watchkeeping convention. And because all of our certificates comply with the IMO needs, our current level of training and the certificates that our fishermen and marine employees have are recognised across the world and are held in very high regard. And I have been informed that when this was last looked at, Deputy, which was in August of this year, there were 518 holders of valid certificates of competency issued in Ireland across the different training courses that I've just mentioned, and that all of these levels of training and certification were held in high regard and allowed the people who had this training to be able to work across the world, because this level of training is recognised by the IMO. But if you're telling me there's a gap and we should look at new training, then I will directly engage with the Deputy on that and get more information from him on it. Count Caller.
Deputy Pringle.
Minister, thank you for that response, and I'll gather some information and get it to you as well in relation to that, and look forward to moving forward on it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Just one point, Deputy, that may be of interest or help to you as we're looking at this point, is that an area that I looked at in response to your question is certificates or training that some other countries might deliver to their fishermen that do not meet the IMO template. And my understanding, Deputy, is that within the UK at the moment, there are some certificates and training that does not deliver that template in the way that our own certificates do. And this is something that the House of Commons Transport Committee have investigated, and they have published a report in this area in March of this year. And the recommendation that they made is that something that should be looked at is converging their training in those areas to the IMO needs that I referred to earlier on. And something that we would be determined to do is ensure that any training that we have or any new training that might be provided would continue to meet the needs of the IMO, because by meeting that need we can ensure that the qualifications are recognised by everybody. But I suspect that might be a desire the Deputy would share, because you want to get further employment opportunities for the people that you're raising. And what I'll do, Count Corley, is I'll get more detail on the particular point that the Deputy has raised with me in a meeting.
Thank you.